In the previous video, we looked at some simple examples of equations, and we saw how to verify that a value might be a solution to an equation. And now we want to focus in on how we can use two techniques to help us to solve linear equations. Now, since we want to end up with a value for the variable, and by the way, this variable could be the letter x, or it could be represented by any other letter. Our general goal will be to get the variable by itself on one side of the equation. This will hold true for any equation, not just linear equations. Okay, but for linear equations, we have the following two tools which will enable us to solve a linear equation. And the first tool is the addition property of equality. And the addition property says that we can add any number to an equation provided that we do the same operation on both sides of the equal sign. In other words, we add an equal number on each side of the equation. So let's go back to example A. In example A, we had x plus 17 is equal to 21. So, bearing in mind our goal, which is get the variable by itself, we use the addition property by subtracting 17 on each side of the equation. Okay, addition property allows us to do this. And now see what happens if we subtract 17 from 17, then only x remains here. And subtracting 17 from 21 leaves us with 4, and so now we have our solution. And of course we can verify that solution is correct by replacing the letter x in the original problem with the solution that we ended up with. Okay, our second tool for solving linear equations is the multiplication property of equality. And this gives us a similar tool for multiplication, namely that we may multiply or divide by any non-zero number, again provided that we do this on both sides of the equal sign. Now it is true if we multiply by 0 that we still have a true statement, but this is not helpful because although it's true that 0 is equal to 0, it does not help us to find a solution to the equation. Okay, so for example, we have to solve 17x equals 102. This says 17 times some number is equal to 102. Well, if we divide each side by 17, then the 17s will cancel on the left-hand side, and we're just left with x. On the right-hand side, we have 102 divided by 17, which is 6, so this gives us our solution. Until you're real comfortable with these techniques, I strongly recommend that you check your solutions once you end up with an x equals. Check by replacing in the original problem the letter x with the number that you come up with. You have to have a true statement, or else you must have made a mistake somewhere along the way. Okay, so see this example now. We have 1/3 x equals 28. This says 1/3 of some number is equal to 28. see what happens if we multiply on each side by 3. We multiply 3 times 1/3. Those 3's cancel out, don't they? Okay, so the 3's cancel out, and we're left with x equals, which is what we want. X equals 84. And it's easy to verify that 1/3 of 84 is equal to 28.